At this point, everybody wants to know how can we help because they see these young brilliant minds, and they're like, "Oh, I want to invest in you," or I want to give you feedback. I see your business growing, and I want to be a part of that. So definitely having the support of adults also weighs in. They have I've definitely noticed they have been copying our styles, so they must
Okay.
like what we do.
Okay.
We're gonna
Okay.
we're gonna have a lot of things coming up this spring that's gonna be just different for our students.
Malik's First Job Podcast, here to answer any questions that y'all ask. Financial literacy and resources. Parents and young people becoming bosses. CEOs, future leaders, entrepreneurs. Conferences and boardrooms getting sponsors secured. If you want generational wealth, Brooklyn's own Kerwin Phillip with information to help. Malik's First Job Podcast. Malik's Podcast. Brooklyn's own Kerwin Phillip. Kerwin Phillip. Malik's First Job Podcast. Brooklyn's own Kerwin Phillip. Generational wealth.
Greetings, everyone. How you doing? This is Kerwin Phillip here with another episode of Malik's First Job Podcast, where we focus in on leadership, entrepreneurship, and financial literacy for parents and teens. And today we have an extra special guest coming all the way from Richmond, Virginia, Miss Alexa Lightfoot. How you doing today?
Hey.
Yes. So Alexa is the program coordinator of the Metropolitan Business League, where she manages the dedicated youth entrepreneurship programs. This program inspires entrepreneurial skills and opportunities for students in 6th to 12th grade in the city of Richmond and Peterburg. Alexa graduated from VCU in 2019 with a dual bachelor's degree in business management and entrepreneurship. She also owns a small business called the Happy Hour Collection, a boxed cocktail beverage company. Her experience includes public speaking, graphic design, supervising others, networking, program management, including program production. So let's welcome Miss Alexa Lightfoot. How you doing?
Hello. That sounded like a lot.
Yes, ma'am. You do a lot. You do a lot.
Sounded like a lot. Oh my.
Yeah. You're a very important person in these streets.
That's what I've been told. That's what I've been told.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So give us, the people who aren't familiar with the Metropolitan Business League, can you give us some background on that organization?
I sure can. So we are a nonprofit organization that is based off of membership and association that it creates business connections in Central Virginia. We have been around for over 53 years,
Oh,
and
wow.
yeah, it's been a while.
Wow.
When we're trying to, of course, businesses, development, and expansion of small women and minority owned businesses here in Richmond and in Petersburg.
Okay, great. So the MBL, they normally work with adults, right?
Yes.
With, adults who own businesses throughout the area. Now, what prompted you all to get involved in youth entrepreneurship?
So it started about 4 or 5 years ago, where we noticed that Richmond public schools were not seeing the representation within competitions, business fair, pop-up shows, not receiving an education, business education, let alone developing that business mindset. So we saw that there was a need, and then we decided that let's go ahead and put a program together full of initiatives where we can get our youth involved because we saw that we had a lot of businesses. So their parents had a business, but the kid was like, I have one too. So, of course, we're here to grow and to expand their minds of entrepreneurship.
Great. So, so to talk about some of the initiatives that you do have, I guess you all work with public schools.
We do. So the MBL, the initiative came because we wanted to help young people
Right.
in their entrepreneurial venture. We have successfully paired up with a lot of organizations such as the Youth Business Exchange to provide these initiatives to us, such as we have a Teen Tween Business, and then we have Remarkable Girls Luncheon, we have MBL Junior. All of these provide mentorship and hands-on guidance that is often unavailable in our young and inspiring entrepreneurs. So we have a lot of chances where we can get our community can kind of come in and kind of talk to our students in face to face versus on Zoom, either
Right.
way, so they can kind of realize they can see themselves in different fields, different industries.
Okay. Okay. Now, why do you think it's important to, I guess, to focus in on young people?
Because they're our future, real simple.
Right.
These kids, they're gonna pick up where we left off. So
Uh,
if we don't teach them, and then what they're gonna learn? And a lot of them just kind of doesn't realize that they're business minded. They may have like a side hustle where they will cut their neighbor's yard. They'll do hair for their family and friends, make some food for them, and so they realize they can start making money as well as their parents. So then that started into turning their hobby into a paying job. So we definitely make sure that these kids get all the resources and the funding that they need to start their businesses in the real world. Like we even talk about taxes and worrying about like how to file for a business license, stuff that you may not catch on any other program, let alone initiative.
right. Right. So what are some of the businesses that you've seen come across, your programs? Like, what's some of the ideas that some of the children have had?
Oh my gosh, girl, are you ready for this?
Okay.
Okay, so it started off Quentin and his pillows. Quentin makes customized pillows. And
Wow.
he started when he was in the 5th grade. And then talking about young, I have a little boy named Enzo who does inspiring T-shirts for young
Okay.
little boys, and he's in the 3rd grade.
Wow.
I've had a young lady realize kids aren't drinking tea, so she has made a tea business that is youthful and fun. We also have skincare, knowing that they're young, young enough that their skin matters, and washing their face every day is very important at that age. So
Right.
we've had kids develop body washes, shampoos, conditioners. Um, of course, a t-shirt business because who doesn't want to put their face on a t-shirt?
Right.
I mean, I can just name a laundry list of kids that just think outside the box. I have this one high school student who realized he wants to be a therapist. So he is out there trying to establish his business now. So by talking to his friends and his family, he's actually coaching them. And without
Right.
realizing it. And I'm like, you may want to charge after you finish giving them all the information you you have. You better make some money off of that. So
Right.
he's out here practicing, just developing that skill early on. So by the time they become full adults, they already have the background that they needed.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Mhm,
And, I think it's, again, it's very beneficial for kids to, get that information and get that practice early.
I
I
agree.
believe it's the book by Robert Gladwell. Is it The Tipping Point, where he speaks about the 10,000 hours it
Mhm,
takes to master a skill? And I think, with the kids starting early, they're able to make those mistakes and get
mhm,
past those humps and hurdles earlier, so that when they become young adults in their
mhm,
20s, 30s, they've already had
mhm,
all those years of experience, with the bumps and bruises that come with entrepreneurship. Whereas you have a lot of adults, people who, like, I guess from our generation, that started when we became adults, that started entrepreneurship. Whereas now these kids are getting a major head start
yeah,
and getting their feet wet.
yeah.
And
I mean, who wouldn't love to have a small business when you're in middle school or high school? Like, think about
right,
all the income you can get just off of that, your grades and your teachers and your administrators, all
yep.
of them. Yeah.
So, that, I heard you mention like grades and stuff like that. Now, have you noticed any type of impact on their scholastic efforts, like academically, with the with the entrepreneurs that you work with? How are they performing in school? Better.
They're doing better. It
Okay.
shows, I mean, the science and it don't lie, you know?
Right.
Um, I've had some kids that, says they wanna enter my Shark Tank, and, during the time, whether they're passing their class or not, of course, it's during SOLs, so having your grades hold up while you're doing a business is very important. I've
Yes.
had a young lady told me she's not doing really well in math, so we decided, "Okay, well, you're gonna be on my call later on. Let's go through some of these math problems with you because, yeah, when you do your business, you're gonna have to learn this math, so you might as well start
Right.
practicing now." Now you're not gonna, of course, at this age, they're not gonna be doing a cross analysis,
Right.
but at this, they can, if they're struggling multiplication or division or, simple as trying to figure out where your break even analysis would be, like, how are you going to make some money? Are you spending more money into your business than you're gaining in return? So
Okay.
all of these, especially math, and are you able to write? You're gonna
Right.
have to write a business plan, so you're gonna have to
Right.
know how to the ways the words carry and how it's gonna be perceived. Of course, reading is the fundamental. Everybody needs to learn how to read.
Right.
So honestly, at this point, every field of education is important. Whether you
Right.
take this in the entrepreneurial route or whether you take it to a corporate job, do whatever you need. But the key is to do well in school and have that extracurricular activity that makes you money.
Right. 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 And what kind of support have you all received from, I guess, the adults I guess, in the MBL program? The adult initiatives, like the adult members. Do you get like a lot of support from those in the youth aspect?
We do. At this point, everybody wants to know how can we help because they see these young brilliant minds, and they're like, "Oh, I want to invest in you," or I want to give you feedback. I see your business growing, and I want to be a part of that." So definitely having the support of adults also weighs in. They have I've definitely noticed they have been copying our styles, so they must
Okay.
like what we do.
Okay.
We're gonna
Okay.
we're gonna have a lot of things coming up this spring that's gonna be just different for our students, and, given and so I think the adults may hop in after we
Okay.
put this pilot through. I
Okay.
think they may be taking up some of our initiatives and because it works. We don't teach things that make you go to sleep, we make
Right.
it fun and energetic and very exciting.
Right.
We're doing dance breaks in the middle of class just to get the
Okay.
nerves out
Right.
before you come up and present. So the things that we do is definitely something that people want to tap into.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Mhm.
So you mentioned that you had some things coming up in the spring. Can you kind of
Yes.
speak on that?
Yes, I sure can. So first, there's MBL Junior, which is on the first and the third Tuesday of each month, now through May, and
Okay.
that's around from 4:30 to 6, and that is actually working within your business. So we have guest speakers that come in and talk to them about different topics like branding, marketing, product development, business development, getting them ready for our Shark Tank, and they use that time and ask a million and one questions. They work within their business, making their pitch decks, doing their elevator pitches. We help them kind of not be so like tight when they speak and kind of talk like you're having a conversation. So all of those happen at MBL Junior. I say that is the place to be on a Tuesday night at 4:30. We have so
Okay.
much fun having that call. And
Right.
that's going to lead us up to Shark Tank. So Shark Tank is on April 25th. We are it's gonna be on Zoom. It's gonna be
Okay.
online. Um, and then it will be at 10 AM. And anybody can watch it. We will have it live on our website that day, and I'm sure on our social media platforms as well. But that is something that is something these kids look forward to.
Okay. Okay.
And then we also have our middle school Shark Tank. Can't forget about them. That's in May,
Okay.
16th at 5 p.m.
Okay. Okay. So let's go back to the MBL Junior meetings. So can you elaborate like some of the topics that you all discussed during those sessions?
Yes, of course. So during MBL Junior, we come on and we kind of course, it's real simple. How's everybody's day? Let's get to know everybody that's on the call because we're
Right.
truly treated like it's a family. What happens in MBL Junior stays at MBL Junior.
Okay.
You can't- And so we talk about all things in preparation for Shark Tank.
Okay.
So getting their business development, their product development. We also talk about how they can present themselves for Shark Tank and actually bringing in past judges to give them a real one-on-one conversation of what they like to see. And as a judge, what are you trying to see? And so by them telling the students exactly what they want to see, the kids actually have make sure they're prepared for that day.
Right.
Making sure they know their business inside and out, because nobody else knows your business better than them.
Right.
We talk about identifying their target audience and
Okay.
making sure that they are strategically placing like who their customer will be. Because not everybody's going to be their customer. So
Right.
making sure when they are developing their business that they see that it was more of like a problem and solution. What is the problem in which the world is missing that your business provides, and how it can be an impact to someone's life. So really going behind the scenes of like not just understanding customers. Everybody knows a customer, but
Right.
understanding like, why are these customers coming back to you every single time? Are they loyal to your company or are they gonna go on Twitter and talk bad about you?
Right. Right.
We talk about finances. Finance is definitely a big one.
Very important.
Learning
Very
your
important.
business costs is definitely not enough time spent on it.
Right.
Not only, identifying how many products you have, to how much you're buying your supplies for, and then turn around how much of a markup you're gonna put on it. You don't wanna put too much because, a customer won't buy it, but you don't wanna be too cheap that your competitors are out here doing so much better than you.
Right.
So making sure that you realize and how many products you need to make before you actually start making your money back. That is a topic we will probably spend every single session on some kind of way because I
Right.
feel like, especially when a judge comes up to you and asks you about your business, that's the
Right.
first thing I ask you. How much do you need? How much do we invest in you?
Right.
Um, and if they don't have an answer, that doesn't look good on a business.
True. Definitely true. Definitely true.
Mhm,
Right. So I guess, and all that leads into the Shark Tank. So can
mhm,
you kind of elaborate more on the Shark Tank? Like, what are the like, who do you get your judges? Who sits as the as actual sharks?
mhm,
Right. You get like local business owners. Do you have national
mhm,
people that come in? Um, and also, I guess, what are the prizes that the kids get?
mhm.
From winning the Shark Tank.
I told them I wasn't gonna disclose prizes.
Okay. I guess previous
But I
years.
can give you a gist of what you're getting.
All right,
But
so
yes,
let's talk about previous years, like last year and the year before.
look, you
What do
can't
the kids
spoil the
receive?
tea, it's exciting.
Right.
So past years, we've used local business owners as well as companies that support in our or sponsor us.
Okay.
So such as we have members from like Supply Diverse, the SBSC. We have judges from colleges like Virginia State. We have VCU, Virginia Union.
Okay.
We also get judges from just being out in the experience. Well, who is trending right now, and what kind of message are they giving? Last year we had the first like Shark Tank winner receive about $600 cash
Oh
and
wow.
a whole bunch of surprises and gifts with that. They got T-shirts, they got gift cards, they got books. All what's in their package, their congratulation of placement for being a finalist. All of our students will receive some sort of funding. In
Okay.
the past years, we had first place won $600, second place won $500, third place won $400, and everybody else received about $100 plus the gifts that we also give. This year it's gonna go bigger. We're going bigger and
Okay.
better this year.
Okay.
And we have a lot of fun gifts. That some of these gifts I want to keep for myself. The amount of stuff we're giving away this year, I'm like, I'm gonna have to make myself a bag.
Oh wow.
but it's gonna be super fun. So you gotta stay tuned and tune in on April 25th, because
Okay.
we have a lot of fun things coming up, and it's exciting. But we will drop our sponsors and our judges in the upcoming weeks. Our application period for our Shark Tank opens on the 14th of March. And
Okay.
that will
Couple
be
weeks.
open for about 2 weeks. So after we get applications, then we can start putting the word out what we're actually giving away once
Okay.
we receive applications.
Okay, great, great. And what's the biggest success story that you've had, I guess, in previous years, from people who participated in the Shark Tank?
Success stories. Um, the students that actually participate in our events stick with the events, stay with us.
Okay.
As many, I know some programs and sometimes people don't always stick to things. They do
Right,
it for a season and then they kinda, like, find something else, but I can definitely say the students that I have physically been around
right.
and managed to develop that entrepreneurial mindset, they have stuck with me through every single event, every
Wow.
program that we've had, and they're asking me for more.
Wow.
That's a success I would like to see because that means the longevity of that business is gonna
Yes.
grow,
Yeah.
the amount of learning and what they're gonna do with it will grow. They
Yeah.
actually found something that they're good at and they like to do, and that speaks more than anything else, a successful business takes a lot of hits, but they
Yes.
learn how to continue to keep growing, keep thriving, keep pivoting, and it's very critical to develop that really young. And it's like, just because you're not good at it right now doesn't mean you're not gonna be good at it forever. You're gonna eventually grow and you're gonna do better, and then every time you do something else, you will develop that sense of like, ooh, maturity, the growth of a business owner, and
Hmm.
that is definitely the most successful story that all of them can have.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well said. Well said. Well said. Right. So for parents and kids that want to get involved, in the programs that the MBL offers, how can they get in contact with you all?
Well, you can always go to our website at www.thembl, and that is THEMBL.org. You can also find us on our Instagram at MBL_YEP, stands with the Youth Entrepreneurship Program. You can also reach out to myself. My name is Alexa Lightfoot again, and my email is at a lightfoot LIGHTFOOT at thembl.org.
Okay, great, great. And I also want to mention one other thing that you all that the MBL supports is the 2022 Richmond Children's Business Fair.
Mhm.
We've been partners, for several years, and we definitely appreciate the support of the MBL. And our 2022 Richmond Children's Business Fair, which is our fifth year
Mhm.
doing the event, takes place on Sunday, March 13th at the Dewey Gartwell Center at the Science Museum of Virginia here in Richmond, Virginia.
Mhm.
We have close to 70 youth entrepreneurs that will be participating this year, uh,
Wow.
with a wide range of businesses.
Cool.
We've had, from jewelry to, we have some public speakers, that you're bringing in,
Mhm.
some powerful speakers
Mhm.
that you're bringing in. I'm trying to think of some of the other businesses that we have. Like I say, T-shirts, mailbox
Art.
painting, artwork,
Mhm.
just so many different business ideas and
Mhm.
services that these kids present. It's remarkable. I wish again when I was that age, I was thinking, entrepreneurship. But
The funny thing is, it started with that's how I grew up.
right,
My mother had a small business, and I literally
okay,
grew up in the entrepreneurial small business, women's small business
okay,
world. And I guess that's probably why I told myself there was only one job for me, and
right,
that was being an educator for entrepreneurship because I could
wow,
teach with my eyes closed. My
beautiful.
first words were, "Are you gonna pay now or later?"
All right. So before we wrap up, can you talk about? I guess in your bio you mentioned that you have a business yourself. Right?
Yes.
Can you speak about that and what you do?
Sure. So I have a background in events, programming, all of that good stuff, but I also have a background in beverage, alcoholic
Okay.
beverage.
Okay. Okay.
So at night, I'm a bartender. And so during what happened, it started when COVID first took effect and everything had to shut down. All the bars and restaurants had to close.
Wow.
And of course, the sense of panic goes, "Oh, I gotta make my drinks at home." What if you don't know how to make a drink that your favorite bartender has made at your
Right.
house? And so the happy hour collection was born where we would make your favorite bartender's drink and we would box
Okay.
it up in this cute little packaging and ship it to you or drop it off to you. And so everything was included, including the liquor.
Okay.
And so you got your all of that good stuff was in the bag in the boxes, and then that's how exactly how happy hour collections, but now people wanna go back out into the world, and they don't make them as frequently as they do at home unless they're real loyal and they started developing that skill while they were in
Right.
during quarantine.
Yeah.
So that's my little baby amongst a
Okay.
million other things that I do. I'm truly a jack of all trades. Um,
Okay.
so I do a lot, so that was just one of them. Yes, sir.
Okay. 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 Beautiful. I'm at the, we'll talk offline about the happy hour.
Like, that's what they all say. It's like, "Oh, can you make me this?"
Yeah, we'll talk offline about that. But again, just want to thank you for joining us today and speaking about the MBL Junior program and all the different initiatives that you all are part of. Definitely, again, if you want to get involved or learn information about the initiatives from the Metropolitan Business League Junior, definitely reach out to them on Instagram. You see the information there on your screen, MBL_YEP, or go to the website, thembl.org. Get involved in the Shark Tank. Get your children involved in the MBL Junior programs. Again, you're learning a lot of steps and important points that you're going to need to build and grow your business. Again, it's all good to be out there selling and promoting products, but you also have to make sure you have the back end tight as well, because you can be making all this money, but if you don't have your business plans and your marketing plans all together, then it'll be all for naught.
That's right.
And then again, you can also reach out to Alexa at lightfoot@thembl.org. Right? So
Yeah.
again, thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you all next time.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. You are invited to the biggest youth entrepreneurship event in Central Virginia. The 2022 Richmond Children's Business Fair takes place on Sunday, March 13th, 2022 at the Science Museum of Virginia, Dewey Gottwald Center from 1 to 4 p.m. Come out to see over 60 youth entrepreneurs between the ages of 5 and 17 display and promote their products and services. This is an event you don't want to miss, and you can bring the entire family. The 2022 Richmond Children's Business Fair is brought to you by the Youth Business Exchange, the Metropolitan Business League, the Urban Hang Suite, Titans and Tiaras, Dress for Success Central Virginia, Innovision Consulting, and the Malik's First Job podcast. See you there.
Generational wealth.